Hey, what's up, everybody? Kenji here. We're at the Elysian Fields, and I'm going to be talking with social media beefcake, Jeremiah Andrick. And so we just came from an SMC event. Hey, don't even lie. So, hey, Jeremiah, thanks for letting me talk to you, man.
No problem. Nice to talk to you.
So
today I'm going to be Todd Bishop.
Oh, you are Todd Bishop of Tech Flash.
Like that? Todd Bishop. That's me.
All right. So, if you could introduce yourself.
My name's Jeremiah Andrick. I'm 30 years old.
30 years old?
That's right. I'm 30 years old.
It was 42 earlier.
Wow. I'm 30 years old.
Right.
I work for Logitech Incorporated, formerly of Microsoft and many other companies.
Yeah, what do you do for Logitech? Or Logicool if you're in Japan?
If you're in Japan, it is Logicool because clearly Logitech with a K belongs to a different company, and so there's some branding things there. That's interesting. I work in online strategy for them and customer acquisition on their e-commerce team.
So do you work with social media strategy?
I work with our PR team that handles social media, largely as a method of doing customer acquisition and figuring out how we can reach our customers and tell the story about how Logitech is really more than just mice and keyboards, but really about your digital lifestyle. And we build our brand around products that should excite people and fulfill the gaps in between your devices, your big devices, your computer, your iPhone, your iPod, those kinds of things. We build the devices that fill the gaps.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And so, getting to the real Jeremiah Andrick, what is your interest in it? Social media and...
I don't really like people.
Yeah, you're kind of anti.
I'm kind of anti-people.
Yeah.
And so, given that I'm anti-people and I like to stay at home a lot, I'm really into solitude. I'm a big reader of Thomas Merton. I'm into solitude and silence. My interest in social media is really about an opportunity to engage others in the things that I'm working on, as well as most of my friends in the industry here are largely connected through social media. I don't know that social media is super revolutionary like people tend to think about it. It's a set of tools. And I like to think of social media as an extension of traditional word-of-mouth marketing, as well as an extension of existing tool sets that are already out on the internet. So it allows me to put the internet a little bit closer to my everyday life. And so on many levels, I can connect more on a one-on-one basis with people. And for me personally, it's been an opportunity to engage my team, engage my friends, throw different types of parties, to hit up Eric Berto to go to the gun range, little geek shootout. Oh, and to even give away some product from time to time. So
wow.
Which is something I try to do, and I like to have fun. So
yeah,
social media for me is really about people at a certain level.
Yep.
And I do think that there's an opportunity to use social media as a method of maybe reaching a broader audience. I like to think that I'm the most influential person that nobody follows. That's right.
I have a hard time believing that, but yeah. All right, so you actually do some blogging as well, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I blog on a pretty regular basis. I blog for myself and a number of other blogs out there.
Where can we find your blog?
Cubiclepunk.com or jeremiahandrick.me, which will redirect to the cubiclepunk.com. I don't know. I started blogging a few years ago, and I would say initially I started out as a terrible writer, but the process for me is really about one, it's a little bit blowing off steam, because I can say things on my blog that I want to say in public, but that maybe I shouldn't say on things like Twitter, because it forces me to formulate things a little more. There are things that I see in our community here in Seattle that I'd really like to see improved, and a lot of times, if you do read my blog and you read between the lines about a lot of my posts, you'll probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I also do talk a lot about my passions, which are traveling and cooking. I have a really great blog post on how to hack an apple pie in 30 minutes. You should read that.
All right.
They did a movie about that, didn't they?
They did. Man, I'm telling you, women love it when you make them an apple pie. And if you follow my method, if you follow my method, listen up, folks. If you follow my method, women, they will eat it up. I'm telling you, the pie, not you, but the pie. You're still a slob mess, but they will eat up your pie. So, just so you know.
All right.
Oh my God.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely.
And so, for you, we all kind of have that moment that we realize, hey, there's something to social media. There's that aha. What was it for you?
So actually, I like to tell people the story of how 3 years ago, a pastor friend of mine pinged me and said, "Have you seen this thing called Twitter?" And I looked at it and said, it was like brand new. It was like out like a week. And he says to me, "Have you seen this?" And I looked at it and said, "No way I will ever use this. I have a life." And then my follow-up response was, I like to be out with people. And now I use it to connect with people. And I think, I don't know that there was ever really an aha moment for me. It was just that, I've been to a lot of conferences and I do a lot of traveling. And I miss my friends when I'm on the road. I've connected very deeply with people in a lot of different cities. And social media for me has been about connecting with people. And some of it's building influence. Some of it is building friendships. And sometimes it's engaging a brand. I've had, there's people that I work with or that I've met or that I've had the experience of hanging out with, largely because I participate in social media. Most people remember the time I had a really bad experience on Continental, and I got a phone call from the CEO because I made a big stink about it on Twitter.
Really?
No joke. And he was super cool, and I got a phone call within a few minutes from the senior vice president of marketing.
Wow.
And then following that, I got a phone call from the CEO. And what I found is that social media, it is a set of tools, and it has potential because of its reach capabilities. But it's still just in the right person's hands. It's live by the sword, die by the sword, right? Like it's just a sword. It's just a tool. Depending on how people use it, it can be used for good or for ill. And I've used it poorly too. I say things on Twitter all the time that probably should get me in a lot of trouble, both with current companies and previous companies. But I try to think a lot more carefully about what I say and what I do online now, because I recognize that there is a power. And also, I'm very fortunate. I've been blessed. I'm hanging out at this event tonight. People want to talk to me, and I'm very lucky that people think I'm worth talking to. Like, why me? What makes me different than the next guy? Well, I hope that it's one, I do have something to offer, but two, I think I use the tools in a good way, and I try to use the tools to help others. I'm a big fan of using the tools to try and help people find jobs or find that tool that they're missing, maybe in their arsenal. And certainly as a marketing tool, it has potential. Although it does have potential for a lot of spam as well. So it's a lot of risk.
Very cool. So, Jeremiah, if people want to find you online or connect with you, how can they do that?
They can find me at Twitter. My name is @Jandrick. They can find me on Skype @Jandrick. And they can certainly find me at my blog, www.thecubiclepunk.com. Please check out my article on hacking an apple pie. It's one of my favorites.
All right. So last question. You've been known to karaoke a little bit.
I do karaoke.
And what is your jam?
Okay, so mine, I would say right now, my song is gonna be "Gives You Hell" by All American Rejects, because the crowd gets into it and they start clapping and they can totally overlook my terrible singing.
All right.
So,
well, there you go.
Check me out, Boxcar, Saturday nights. I'm there all night.
Everybody, social media beefcake, Jeremiah Andrick.